What if I told you that Blackbeard isn't just the most dangerous pirate alive today, but actually the vessel of the most infamous pirate in history? Forget everything you thought you knew about the God Valley incident, because the truth may prove that Rox D. Xebec never truly died. Instead, his soul may have found a way to survive inside the body of Marshall D. Teach. One Piece has always thrived on mystery, but no character embodies it more than Blackbeard. From wielding 2 devil fruits to his bizarre physiology, everything about him screams that something isn't normal. But what if the explanation doesn't lie in his body alone, but in a hidden connection to Rox D. Xebec, a man who once shook the entire world? In today's video, we'll break down one of the wildest and most compelling theories, yet a theory that could explain Blackbeard's secrets, his rise to power, and why he may become the ultimate villain of the Final Saga. Blackbeard is one of the series' oldest and most important mysteries. Ever since his initial appearance in the story several years ago, Blackbeard has consistently sparked curiosity. The man is mysterious, as Luffy and Zoro's first encounter with him hinted when they called him them instead of him. While fans first dismissed this, doubts arose during the final minutes of the Marineford War, when he became the only person in history to wield 2 devil fruits simultaneously. The incident sparked a slew of speculations about how this was possible, ranging from Blackbeard being numerous persons in one body to him being a secret deity of some sort. Fans have long debated the truth about this character, but Loki's flashback during the Elbaf arc appears to have revealed what Blackbeard is all about, and it all comes back to his father, Rox D. Xebec. Rox is still alive because his soul lives within Blackbeard's strange body. Rox is probably still alive inside Blackbeard's body. Although it has only been a few chapters, many fans consider Loki's flashback during the Elbaf arc to be one of the best in the entire One Piece series. Not only has this chapter provided a great deal of background for Loki's condition and the status of Elbaf, but it has also revealed some of the world's greatest mysteries and answered some of the fans' most pressing issues. The best of these revelations was the first official look at the famous Rox D. Xebec and his crew's subsequent exploits, which confirmed that, while he never held the title, Rox was widely regarded as the first pirate king in all but name. Despite eventually displaying this legend 6 years after his first mention, many additional questions arose, including his entire journey with Emu and his interest in specific devil fruits. Although the entire world believes he is dead, there is a strong likelihood that Rox did not die in the God Valley incident, and the reason for his existence is the mythical Ope Ope no Mi devil fruit. In chapter 1156, it is revealed that Rox was pursuing 2 specific devil fruits, one of which being the strange fabled fruit of Elbaf, which Loki eventually ate. The other is a complete mystery, but many believe it is Ope Ope no Mi, as Rox's first official appearance featured him making a hand gesture identical to Law's shambles. This scenario would also be consistent with the fruit's notoriety, as it is highly indicated that Emu underwent the perennial youth operation in the Void Century by using it, which granted them immortality. According to popular belief, the fruit is also used to grant immortality to the 5 elders, which is why the world government has long desired access to it. However, the fruit escaped from their clutches before Law ate it, so the world government was willing to pay 5 billion berries to retrieve it, which is one of the highest bounties in One Piece, alongside Whitebeard and Rogers. When Doflamingo first described the Ope Ope no Mi's special properties, he explained that, in addition to the immortality operation, it can move souls into various bodies, as Law demonstrated on the Straw Hats during the Punk Hazard arc. Finally, the theory explains how, prior to his defeat on God Valley, Rox used the fruit to transfer his soul into Blackbeard's body. This hypothesis could be the best explanation for a number of things, most notably Blackbeard's ability to use numerous devil fruits. While one side employs the Yami Yami no Mi, the other side could simultaneously utilize the Gura Gura no Mi. In Marineford, Marco explained that Blackbeard's body is different from other people in an attempt to explain how he might use numerous fruits, which would be perfect. Furthermore, the series repeatedly references Blackbeard's constant lack of sleep, one of his greatest mysteries. Although it has never been explicitly stated, the idea that Rox is part of Blackbeard could explain this phenomenon, as one half of Blackbeard might sleep while the other remains awake. If this action occurred during Blackbeard's toddler years, it clarifies why Shanks and Buggy viewed him with suspicion during the brawl in Odin's flashback. Finally, this argument explains why Blackbeard will be the ultimate villain of the story. After bursting into the Chamber of Flowers, Rox promised Emu that he would return, and using Blackbeard's body to fight the enemy would be the ideal way to do so. The argument would also make an excellent thematic connection, considering Teach derives all of his strength from devil fruits and has never been a famous hockey user, despite being one of the context's most important characters. Rock's soul within his body might fill this void, as these two halves would combine to form the strongest villain in the entire story, wielding the strongest devil fruit powers and hockey simultaneously. This explains how he was able to scar Shanks long before he had any devil fruit, because the hockey of Rox would have come into play when the two fought all those years ago, and Shanks confesses that he wasn't caught off guard and that the fight was fair. Only Rox's strength and hockey mastery allowed Blackbeard to hurt Shanks before he acquired any devil fruit. Regardless of the existence of Rox within Blackbeard, it's undeniable that Teach's mysteries remain unsolved, and Oda has been subtly revealing clues for decades. If this theory proves true, the Final Saga won't just be about Luffy versus Blackbeard, it'll be about the return of a legend who refused to die. What do you think? Is Blackbeard actually Teach, or is he the second coming of Xebec himself? Please let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed diving into this theory, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss the next deep dive into the world of One Piece. Thank you very much for visiting the Mugiwara Review YouTube channel, buddy. We hope you enjoy our review analysis. Don't forget to subscribe and continue joining us on our joyful journey in the world of anime. If you have any wishes, question, or suggestions for our next videos, feel free to express your thoughts on the comments below. Thank you very much for your support, and until we meet again, see you next time, buddy. What is One Piece anime? One Piece is a manga and anime story about a young boy named Monkey D. Luffy who wants to be the king of the pirates in the world. As a child, he eats a devil fruit, a strange plant that makes him able to stretch like rubber. Before the show starts, Luffy goes out into the world for the first time and starts to gather a group of pirates. The main group grows over time, but it starts with Luffy, Nami the Navigator, and a swordsman named Roronoa Zoro. At some point, Luffy and his friends are known as the Straw Hat Pirates, and they go on many exciting adventures across the ocean. One Piece is a lot of fun because it's silly. Luffy goes from island to island around the world in the series. Each island has its own setting and theme. It's a pretty fantastical world full of animals that look like people, live skeletons, and other delightfully strange things. Within moments, the group is in a winter scene, and the next, they are on a tropical island full of giants. The show is full of silly and bright details. For example, Zoro holds a sword in his mouth, a scary military boss wears a cute bulldog hat, and people don't use phones to talk to each other instead. They use special transponder snails that can send and receive messages. Luffy is a carefree person who just wants to eat a tasty meal and laugh at bad jokes. Even though there are some funny parts in the series, a lot of One Piece is about freedom. During his travels, Luffy often takes up guns to help his friends and encourages others to do the same against pirates and government-backed military occupations. The characters in Luffy and his crew get stronger with each fight, which is typical for shonen manga. A lot of the story is about how Luffy beats a problem that seemed impossible to solve and finds some kind of secret power. After each fight, Luffy and his team get stronger and move closer to his main goal, which is to find the One Piece. Why is it called One Piece? The first part of both the manga and the anime shows that Pirate King Ghoul D. Roger is telling the truth about the mythical wealth called the One Piece. One Piece is the name of the show, because Luffy wants to find the One Piece and become the next Pirate King. One of Luffy's main goals in the show is mentioned in the show's title. What is the One Piece? The answer to this question is still one of the biggest secrets in the series. It's been more than 1,000 episodes, and we still don't know what One Piece is. We know that the One Piece is the name of the treasure that Ghoul D. Roger collected on his travels because of details in the manga. We still don't know a lot about the treasure, though. There are a lot of ideas from fans about what the One Piece is, but we still don't know what it is or even if it's real. The One Piece could just be the friends Luffy makes along the way.